Is it rolling? It's rolling.
It's rolling.
Oh my gosh.
Are you ready to do this thing?
So happy to be doing this
Yeah.
with you. Yes!
Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Woody in Woody's Kitchen. Today we have a very special guest. It is my very good friend, your very good friend, Timothy Landicho.
What is up,
The
Woodrow?
crowned prince of athletic, but definitely a party girl.
Always.
And also the Peaches Be Peachin' Corporation.
Absolutely.
In the flesh. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I'm excited to eat, but then before we eat, we gotta prepare the food first.
We gotta prepare the food. Timothy and I are gonna be making a ginger beef with veggies and rice. It's a bit of a stir fry, if you will, and it's going to be delicious. Should we get started?
I think we should get started.
Let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
chef it up today.
Let's do it.
I
Let's
can't
chef
wait
it
to
up.
chef it up with you.
I also cannot wait to chef it up with you.
I love cooking for my friends. I love cooking for people that I love, but it's even better when I have you in the kitchen with me.
So you need to stop. I feel very loved, and also that's I get terrified to cook for people I love because I'm like, I'm sorry.
But the best part is we're doing this together.
Yeah,
so
we're
if
doing
it
it
tastes
together.
awful in the end, we're both to blame.
Yeah. But I really trust Woody. It's a win-win.
I love you.
I love you too.
And I think we're about to love this ginger beef. So
I
let
think
us
so, too.
begin. Tim, as mentioned, is the leader of the athletic, but definitely a party girl gang. I want to know the origins of this, how it came about, why it came about.
As I've grown as a human, I've really come to understand it now as every single human has both the athlete archetype and the party girl archetype. And to me, the athlete is the person who gets after it, you're focused, you're disciplined, you have a goal, you know your why. And then the party girl, she's a girl who just lets her hair down,
Yes.
says F it at the end of the day. Life is worth living when you got both.
We're not one-dimensional people.
We are not.
We are multi-dimensional people. We need to be able to embrace all facets of ourselves and allow them to be represented.
Yep.
Because if we're stifling any part of ourselves, then we're not truly embracing who we are and
Yep.
being able to share how beautiful we are in all of the ways
Yep.
with the world.
That
You're
part.
representing
That part.
this balance in life that people find really hard to achieve.
Yep.
How do you manage your time and how do you find balance?
Really, I do see that as the heart of athletic, but definitely party girl. By the way, I've done both, where I've had seasons of lots of focus and ended up just like burnt out because I wasn't having fun, I wasn't doing things that were fulfilling or feeding my spirit. And then I've also done the other side, have so much fun, but then look up and be like, man, I'm kind of regretting my choices. I'm not moving towards the life that I want, right? So it is a little bit of balance, and something that someone shared with me years ago was that it's about balancing as a verb rather than balance, which is a noun. And when you think of the two, balance as a noun is just this static thing, and it implies, okay, I gotta have 50% of this and 50% of this at all times. Whereas balancing, to me, it's a constant act of, you just think of like a balance beam. There's a little adjustment to the right, and then you're like, okay, now I'm adjusting to the left. And I gotta stay present to understand what do I need more of, and also understand where do I need to pull back a little bit. To me, it says that yes, there are seasons, but if you can stay present and just know how to adjust in those seasons, when you zoom out, then you do have a life of balance.
Taste test has arrived.
It has begun.
Okay, I'm getting a bite.
Okay.
With a little bit of everything.
I'm gonna get a little bit of everything too.
a little green veg, some rice,
beef.
some saucy rice, some beef.
Yep. Oh, cheers.
Oh my god, my mouth is for real watering.
Me too.
Whoa,
No.
that sauce? This is better than takeout.
We made this. Isn't that wild?
We made this
Like,
together.
we made this. Look, even Jelly and Bean are excited.
Yeah.
This beef was actually cooked to perfection.
Yeah.
Like it's-
You handled that.
it's
Timothy
chewy.
handled the beef cooking.
I appreciate your trust. It was a little bit of a risk.
What season are you in right now?
We're at the tail end of summer. So
Yeah.
summer for me is always party girl season. Summer for me always represents less structure, more spontaneity, kind of using this very fun season to make use of everything that I've built throughout the year. So whether that is my body and athletic capabilities, things that I've been really focused on at work and at Tonal. Summer for me is a lot about play, so summer is a very party girl season for me. As we go into fall, I think it kind of fits with this like back to school energy. I'm shifting a little bit more into athlete mode. That's not to say that I'm not gonna have the party girl side anymore, but my more structured brain's coming back in, is asking, okay, hey, we do need to be a little more disciplined. We do need to be looking at sleep more, start structuring our nutrition a little bit more. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, so speaking of shifting into a new season, becoming a little bit more vulnerable or having the possibility for becoming overwhelmed or feeling stressed, what are some of the things that you do to manage that stress?
You want my honest answer right now?
I want full honesty.
My honest answer right now is I'm actually feeling a little overwhelmed. Like literally in this season. No, but that's not, I don't see that. The thing is, I don't see that as a bad thing. Occasional overwhelm is part of the process, right? Because again, if we go back to the image of balancing, right? Overwhelm is just being like, oops, I tilted too far on this side.
Yeah.
Now I look at overwhelm as just a signal of like, hey, we're missing something. And so whenever I'm in a period of overwhelm, I always come back to what's the one most important thing in this season right now. And so there's a really amazing book called, actually two. One of them is called The One Thing. The other one is called Essentialism. And both of them really talk about, here's how you cut through the noise and get really clear on what's important to you. Bring it back to right now, as I'm getting back into athlete mode, a lot of what I'm needing to focus on is sleep and my wind down routines. And so as I've looked at kind of my fitness, I'm already training hard. I have experience with kind of like tracking macros and doing all that stuff. And really one of my biggest limiters right now is sleep and recovery. And so I always look at it through the lens of like, what's my biggest limiter? And that's gonna be my focal point for a specific season. And so that's gonna be the filter for if I take on new commitments. I filter it through that one thing. How is this gonna impact the practice that I'm building there, right? And because I've set that as a North Star, I can make decisions that feel really aligned.
So you take the limiting factor and you find ways to make that no longer a limiting factor.
Correct, yeah.
But to make that the priority.
Exactly,
so that everything else can sort of flourish around it.
There's always gonna be a million things going on. And when we're not clear on where we should be focusing, that's what causes overwhelm. If we look at like, what's the thing that's slowing this whole thing down? Let me focus all my attention on that until that's not a limiting factor anymore. And then boom, growth skyrockets.
Okay, here we go. Tim has seconds to answer each of these hard-hitting rapid-fire questions. Tim, are you ready?
I'm ready, I think.
Who would win in a fight? The Gluteus Booteus or Peaches?
I'll say Gluteus Booteus. Listen, I am the CEO of Peaches Be Peachin', but the gluteus booteus, there's something about it that's just like, it's like the gluteus booteus, it's science, it's evidence-based gluteus booteus, it is.
It's so gonna end up in
a research journal. Yeah, exactly.
Who would win in a fight, you or Akeem?
Definitely me, hands down. Across, by the way, it's not like a specific category, across all categories.
Go to Ben & Jerry's flavor.
We're gonna say American Dream.
I'll be honest, it's one I never go for.
Really? What's yours?
I always go for Chunky Monkey.
Because I'm allergic to nuts, it's such an inconvenient allergy.
No,
it's one that I always see when I'm looking at the freezer section at the grocery store. I'm like, the one that got away.
San Francisco or New York?
For this season of my life, it's New York. San Francisco will always be home though.
What's your favorite meal to make for you on any given night?
Oh, on any given night? Okay, gosh, it's such a cop-out, but I love breakfast for dinner. Especially if I've had a rushed morning and I'm like grabbing something like overnight oats or whatever, like on the go, and then I'll come home and make like an egg scramble.
Okay, 3 words to describe Tim Landicho.
Driven, curious, and then playful. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, it's not that serious.
100 maybe.
You
nailed it.
You know?
That's my friend.
Yeah.
That's my friend that you just described. 3 words or a short description of what success feels like.
Success feels like being able to express myself honestly and openly in whatever context I'm in. I think success is being able to be exactly who I am and have really awesome relationships with the most important people in my life. And I think everything else kind of serves that purpose.
Beautifully said from a beautiful human being. Wow, this has been an amazing afternoon, an amazing day.
This was the best.
Well spent with my very good friend Timothy, making some ginger beef and veggie stir fry
So
that
good.
we dusted. The
We
plates
crushed
are
that.
clean. Okay, guys,
All right, y'all,
this
thank
is
you
it.
for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna go finish our spin drifts now.
Spin drift.
Until next time, this has been Cooking with Woody and Tim in Woody's Kitchen.
Bow, 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 bow.